I want to start this off because I forgot to do it when I did the video, but I did do my first podcast. And in the description of the video, I will put a link for those of you that just want to have a half hour and you go, what should I do for this half hour? Gosh, I'd really like to hear Steve talk, but it's pretty good. I do it with Jim from Radio Wasteland. Please check out his channel. And we talk record store day. We kind of go into some of the items that we're excited about and what we want to do. It's also an introductory type video as we introduce ourselves. So feel free. I keep saying video. It's a podcast, entry podcast. It's the first, I listened to it, so now I can say I've listened to a podcast. But check it out and hopefully you enjoy it. And we plan to try to do this weekly, depending on our schedules. All right. Thanks, everyone. Now for the rest of the show. Thrifting part 2. I'm in an antique mall. Somewhere I'm looking for a record store. Can't find the record store. I thought it might be in this antique mall. I don't think it is, but I did find records. So maybe I'm going to find something great. Let's find out. Very. Oh, nope. Nope. $25. Right. Sealed. That bad. And it's sealed. Hold on. 40. Right. I know, tiny bubbles. Okay. 1982. Let's talk about 1982. But first, look at this. Everything is better with jalapenos. Bill from the Vinylverse sent me this. Actually, today's my birthday. And so he sent me this. And for those that follow me on Facebook, in my travels, when I go out to eat, it is a known fact that any menu I look at, if it says jalapenos, I don't care if it's a drink, if it's something to eat, I'm buying it. Because I love jalapenos. I can't eat them really raw, but man, I love the flavor of those in food. So thank you, Bill. This is excellent. I really appreciate it. So we began with, just real quick, I was looking for this record store, and I don't even remember what town now. I couldn't find it. It was supposed to be a brand new record store, but it's not on Google Maps. It's not anywhere. I'm not finding it. But there was another record store. And I'm looking, and I'm way out in the country now. And it says I'm by it, but there's this antique mall. So I thought maybe it's in this antique mall. So I go in there and I go, do you have records? Well, we have some records. Is it a record store? No, it's a booth. So I went and looked. I took some, you saw a little video footage of it. There wasn't a lot there, but there were sealed albums. And that band at $40, that's probably not a bad price. Bad is not a bad price. I just don't need to have bad. Don't need it. Or a Wham or whatever. But there it was. I went, I looked, didn't see anything I really had to have. I did find that store. It was next door. There was a place that sells meats and cheeses. Just this beat up place. This is tiny. It looks like a shack attached to it. And it said it's a record store. They had other stuff, but it's closed. It's only open 2 days a week for 2 hours on those 2 days, or by appointment. So, okay, I guess it's a hobby. All right, so that's that. But now let's talk about 1982. Best things that happened in 1982. First off, 1982, Diet Coke came out. Never did like that, but Diet Coke. The Sony CD Walkman was introduced to the general public all the way in 1982. That's pretty wild. Number one hit in 1982, Let's Get Physical, Physical, Let's Get, followed by The Eye of the Tiger. I never had any of those, so I guess I wasn't into the hits. So, that's a couple things, but I got my 10 favorite albums that I currently have in my collection from 82. There's probably some that I would like to have, but I don't have. Some of the other ones are in the back that are just outstanding albums. You have The Descendants, Milo Goes to College. There's The Dead Kennedys, Plastic Surgery. Miami from the Gun Club, awesome album. And The Safety Dance, dun, 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 dun. You can dance if you want to, you can leave your friends behind. God, that's a cool video. Flipper, which has one of my all-time favorite songs. It's a sex bomb, baby. Jethro Tull. Oh, that's Jethro Tull over there. Chance, actually, my concert buddy sent me that one. And what the hell is that one? Oh, Thomas Dolby. They didn't make the top 10. These are what made my top 10, though. So let's take a look at them. Number 10 on the charts, we have English Settlement by XTC. This had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses working overtime. Wonderful song. A quirky album. XTC is trying to find themselves. They're expanding. They're doing different things. Yeah, it wasn't like in America this thing really took off. And in fact, I totally missed it. I didn't find this till later. Probably into the 90s, I got into XTC. But this is a really nice one. English Settlement. You can find it out there for not a lot of money, but great stuff. Number 9. Number 9 on the hot Steve chart, I guess. There's the original vinyl from this one, but it's Grace Jones. I always want to call her Grace Slick, just because it's Grace, but Living My Life. And as you can see, this is one of those radio ones. What's the best? On here, we have sleeve with lots of words on there. So on here, you have the wonderful My Jamaican Guy. That's a wonderful song. Nipple to the Bottle. Apple Stretching is on here. Unlimited Capacity for Love. This is not as strong as the albums, the last couple albums, but still very danceable. She's still showing what she can do. She looks fierce on here. Obviously, they cut her hair off the top, but they gave her this fierce warrior look, and you do have that on this album. It's, the songs are long, but they're made for dancing. Great stuff. Number 9. Grace Jones. Coming in at number 8. And now let's get a little pop, a little fun stuff happening. And that was Berlin's Pleasure Victim. Man, this thing was catchy. It had great videos. That's where I first got to know them. I do not have the original inner sleeve, but I remember riding on the Metro when I saw that and go, wow, this is really intriguing. And of course, very synth pop. Lots of synthesizers happening on here. They have Pleasure Victim, Masquerade, wonderful song, almost symphonic, everything that gets added into that. The Metro, Sex, I'm a man, that gets you up, if you want to be on the dance floor. Sex, I'm a, and fun stuff. Terry Nunn, her voice is incredibly good. It's still good to this day. These guys are still around. Wonderful album. They had the hit later on from the Top Gun movie. I didn't care for that. This one had the music I really liked from Berlin. So that's number 8. Number 7. Number 7, it comes just, it's screaming. It's coming screaming in because we're screaming for vengeance. Screaming for Vengeance is one of the top 10 driving songs of all time. As you're out there and you're putting your foot to the metal and you're going to pass someone, you're screaming for vengeance. Yeah, it has the Hellions on here, which is a wonderful song. Is every song on here great? No. But overall, I really, really like this album. I find that there's a lot of, it's fun listens. I don't have an original inner sleeve on that either. But, yeah, you really can't go wrong. Those that like metal, of course, maybe this is too commercial Judas Priest, but I'm into commercial Judas Priest. So this one really, really worked out for me really good. Number 6. And have to have this, and that is Prince, 1999. Probably one of his, maybe his greatest album. A lot of people might probably say Purple Rain, but this is the one that really got me into him because of that little red Corvette. And I was working in Minneapolis at the time. So you're working in Minneapolis, this album comes out. Oh my God, that was huge. 1999, Delirious. I mean, side 1 is just a masterpiece. You have Automatic, Lady Cab Driver, which later Lenny Kravitz did. This is just such a fun album. I totally, I can't say I'm a gigantic Prince fan. I liked him more back then. I think once he began going a little flaky on me, I kind of backed off in the 90s. I had all the CDs, but this was the album that I could put on constantly. I mean, Purple Rain's awesome too, but this was so fun, so dancey. It just made you want to boogie and have a great time. So that was 6. Number 5. And this is one of my newest editions, which I've sold now a few times. I'm going to do it again. The Misfits. They Walk Among Us. They Walk Among Us. And this is my only Misfits. But to me, it was the one that I really wanted. I don't call it hardcore. To me, it's almost like psychopunk again. When you look at we got 20 Eyes, I Turned Into a Martian, All Hell Breaks Loose, Vampira, Nike Go-Go, Hate Breeders, Mommy, I Go Out and Kill Tonight. Wow. Side 2, Night of the Living Dead, Skulls, Violent World, Devil's Whorehouse, Astro Zombies, and Brain Eaters. Well, so this may not be something to play with mom and dad around, your wife, or about anybody else. If you're feeling really depressed, maybe it's not what you want to play. But talk about fun music. Fun music. Yeah, we're talking about killing lots of stuff. Fun stuff. It's music that makes an impact. It's music that creates an emotion. It's music that gets you up. You want to slam yourself around. To me, it's very good punk. There's just great punk music. I don't call it as thrash. I don't even call it really hardcore. To me, it is just fast, furious punk. Really great stuff. I'm really happy to have this. Number 4. Mission of Burma verse. This is, I believe, it was their first full-length album and really became their last album for the simple reason that one of the band members lost his hearing. Or his hearing, he had such tinnitus. They played so loud, he damaged and he couldn't play anymore, which is quite sad. And I do not have an original inner sleeve on this one either. But incredible good stuff. This is noisy. The guitars are screaming. It's a wall of sound that's coming out. They're out of Boston. I can only imagine going to see them in concert and coming out going, what? Huh? What? They're loud. But through this loudness, there's a melody happening, and there's structure to the songs. It's just not about making noise, and that's what you get off of this. It's just one of those classic '80s albums when you think of the college rock. Mission of Burma verse. Number 3, Beauty. So we went from this monsters, we went from very loud, and we pop into Roxy's Music Avalon. I think it's one of the most gorgeous albums I've ever heard. And when I bought this and you put on More Than This, it just starts off with More Than This. And you talk about dreamy. You talk about a song that relaxes you. It makes you feel you're like you're floating. You're going to a different place. It's so beautiful. Avalon, India is on here. It's just great song after great song. For me, it's my favorite Roxy Music album, just because they're not getting crazy. Things had changed. Obviously, now we're in 1982, and in '82, we have, you have the New Romantics and everything like that. This kind of follows into the vein of what was happening, but this is the masterpiece. Just wonderful. So happy to finally get this reissue that had just come out for Avalon. Number 2 is an album. When this came out, I played this thing all the time, and that's Joe Jackson, Night and Day. Again, an album. What's interesting on this album is how they take something like Cancer, and they put Cancer to a Latin beat so you can actually dance to a song about cancer. But the lyrics are very potent. And Joe Jackson was he could really write, and which he did on this album. Look at all those instruments. You just stare at that and go, wow, look at all that stuff. Look at all the stuff they play. Of course, this has, Stepping Out. Really wish I someday could find these with inner sleeves, but that's going to cost me more money. It starts with Another World, Chinatown, wonderful song. Breaking Us in Two, such a beautiful ballad, a tragic ballad, very, very sad. We have Real Men, a slow song, sing us a slow song, but nothing was more beautiful than Stepping Out Tonight. And I just think back to with my wife dating, just going out to eat, going out to whatever, and we're going to be stepping out tonight. It was just like the theme song. Wonderful, beautiful music. And number 1, and such an important album, The Dream Syndicate, The Day of Wine and Roses, The Days of Wine and Roses. This is Paisley Underground at its finest. The Paisley Underground movement was taken off. They were looking at the 60s, what was happening with the psychedelic stuff, California, and then they were making it a lot cooler. And this is, to me, the pinnacle of the Paisley Underground. It's a beautiful sounding album. It's an all-time favorite. I can play this thing over and over, and you never get tired of it. You can see here, there we got, I was trying to see on here, tell me when it's over, that's what you say. I don't think there was any, they had one really, that was close enough to hit. There's a few things in here. No, I can't even find it. Tell me when it's over. Was that it? That might have been it. But this really came. Look at this. It came with a little 45, which is really, really neat. And of course, it's just a 2-album set. Beautiful music. This is, to me, definitely the pinnacle of 1982. Something different. But a lot of bands copied it, and the Paisley Underground it kept going and expanding. It was already there, but this was the pinnacle. So that's 1982. I hope you enjoyed my 10 favorite albums from 82. Some of these on the wall are definitely probably your favorites. Please feel free to give me what you were really enjoying in 1982, because there was a lot of good music. And I'm looking at 83 and it's like, oh my God, there's even more good music. Thanks for dropping by. Drop back again on Sunday, okay? Bye.